Hey friends, welcome back. This is Real Girl Talk on Facebook Live, and I'm Sherry. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you're joining live or you're on the replay. Welcome and thank you for joining me. So everybody can say hey, tell me where you're from. Feel free to ask questions as I go through my talk tonight, and I'll try to answer all of them live. And if I don't get to them live, then I will go back after the live and answer them then. So welcome again. And before we get started, can everybody just hit their share button, please? This is going to be a great talk tonight. It's going to be on friendships. So if you've got, your daughter, your mom, your sister, send them a text real quick, tell them to jump on, share it to your Facebook, and we're going to get started. Before we get started, though, I want to introduce myself. If we haven't met before, my name is CHERIE RICKARD, and I'm an author, speaker, medical business professional, and certified grief and empowerment coach. So basically, through my books, my speaking events, and my one-on-one coaching, I just help women. I'm a resource for them for empowerment and strategic planning, and just hoping that they can be all that God has intended them to be, and I am here for you. So we're going to dive in tonight on the 6 characteristics of friendship and how to know your tribe. So we're going to get real on Real Girl Talk. So before we get started again, take just a couple of minutes. Hey, Glenna Rowland. Before we get started, hit your share button, share it to your profile page. Listen, just because we can't see as many people live, I am over the moon excited and kind of shocked in a way, if I'm just going to be realistic and transparent here, because this is only my 3rd live event, and we've had thousands of replays for the first 2 Real Girl Talk events. So not a lot of people can catch them live, but that's cool because the replays are in the thousands, and I'm overwhelmed. So we're going to dive in here. So 6 characteristics of genuine friendships and how to find your tribe. So, and we can kind of go on and on, but I'm going to refer you to some books that are going to talk more about how to find your tribe. So we're going to dive in here. We all have people in our life that we consider friends, right? But how well do you know those people? So we have neighbors, we have coworkers, we have friends from high school, from college, people that we just meet, as we grow and, we move to different places. And how well do you actually know that person? So how are you calling them a friend? I think sometimes, hey, Sandra, I think sometimes we get carried away with calling people friends and we don't really know them. So how do we know that they're a genuine friend? It's really hard sometimes to recognize this because there's not always sincerity behind every smile. And that's just real girl talk. So today we live in a competitive world, right? So deceit is common, I'm sorry, but it's best to know who you're associating with. So unfortunately, phony friends actually do exist. Sorry. But real friends exist as well. So how do you find them? And I'm going to go over some notes here because I wrote a chapter in my book, Strong Women, How to Live an Empowered Life Through Adversity. And this is one of the chapters in my book. So I'm not going to cover everything or we would be here for an hour. And this is only like a 25 minute chat. So thank you for the hearts and thank you for the thumbs up. Hey, Charlotte. So 6 top characteristics. Number 1, real friends will ask you how you're doing because they really want to know. Phony friends are usually more concerned with their own needs than yours, and they're really asking because they're just nosy. They don't really want to know. They're just being nosy. So it's okay. You got to be self-aware, but you can't be self-centered. Phony friends will tend to ask you how you're doing, and they will interrupt you while you're telling them how you're doing to talk about themselves. Now, you're probably thinking right now that you know some people like that, but I'm not just talking about those. I want you to think about if sometimes that's you, Okay, so we're really quick to point the finger and say, oh, I'm just a better friend, or she doesn't call me as much as I call her. She doesn't ask me to go places like I do her. But be aware, sometimes you're not always being the genuine friend. So I'm trying to make it real here. I want you to really think outside the box, not only pointing fingers at someone else and saying, haha, they are a genuine friend or they're not, but I want you to think about yourself as well. Okay. So they will stop you in mid-sentence to talk about themselves. Listen, they're not really listening to you. It's okay to call them out. That's not rude. If somebody says, how are you doing? Or they ask you to talk about something like, how's so-and-so doing in your family? Or how's your new project going? Or how's your new job? How's your new hair salon going? And when you're in mid-sentence, they interrupt you. It's okay to say, oh, I'm sorry. I thought that you had asked me how I was doing. And I know my daughter would probably say that's passive aggressive, but it's really not. Actually, you're calling that person out. And I'm not saying you can do this to a total stranger because you will come across as being rude. I'm talking about the person that does that to you over and over and over again. Okay. Number 2 is genuine friends will call and ask how you're doing and make plans. They will make plans with you to go and have a good time, to go to a concert, to go to, an empowerment talk or an event or go shopping or whatever it is. Phony friends will call you, or you will see them somewhere and they'll say, hey, call me and we'll make plans. Or they'll say, I'm going to call you and we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And you never hear from them. So your real friends that you will hear from, because they will think about you when they do those outings. Hey, do you want to join us? The not so genuine friends not necessarily will do that. They will say to your face, yeah, let's meet up. And then you really don't hear from them. Okay. You know who I'm talking about, right? All right. So if your friends if they're worthy of your time and you're worthy of their time, you will talk to them. You will make plans together. You will talk about each other's excitements and projects and things going on in their life. It's not going to be a one-way conversation. So, like I said, you can always call them out. Hey, Deborah, you can always call them out and say, oh, I thought we were going to make plans. I thought we were going to do something. I think a lot of times we get our feelings hurt and we don't really ask the questions to the people that we consider our friends. So if you consider somebody a friend and they add value to you, you really do want them as a friend, and they hurt your feelings because maybe they didn't invite you somewhere or they didn't include you on some type of event, you can always go to them and say, hey, listen, it just kind of hurt my feelings a little bit that you didn't think about me. You never know what could have happened. It could have been a last minute deal. They could have ran into someone at the mall and ran next door to go eat. And then you saw them eating and you just thought they didn't include you. So you may want to ask those questions before you point out and think they're not really a good friend. Okay. Number 3 characteristic. You're going to feel more comfortable and you can be yourself around real friends. Okay. So I'm a firm believer that nobody can make you feel inferior but yourself. No one can make you feel inferior to someone else but yourself. Okay. So however you feel in the gut about someone, if you feel like you have to be someone else, or you have to create a story, or you have to just put on in order to fit into a group or feel okay around a certain friend, that's a betrayal of yourself. Because if you can't be who you are, the real you, and being authentic around that group, that's just not your group. Okay. So is this helpful? If it's helpful, you can just give me a thumbs up or something. I appreciate y'all saying, hey, on the screen. That's great. Okay. So number 4, characteristics of a genuine friend. You always get a genuine hug, call, card, or some type of congratulations on any achievement. So even if it's a text, but I'm a texter. I'm going to admit that I do text quite a bit because I'm always rushing and on the run, but I will stop and call instead of texting someone a book. If it's something real important, I'm going to call them. If it's a close friend and it's their birthday and I can't be with them, I'm going to call them. I'm not just going to send them a text. But it's okay. I would rather you acknowledge me and send me a text than not acknowledge me at all. If I had some type of project or achievement and you knew about it, or say I was going in for a test at the hospital and you knew my test results were coming back, I'd rather get a text from you than not hear from you, if that kind of makes sense. All right, so we're going to move along. I don't want to miss anything. So no matter what the scenario, they will always pat you on the back and they will push you forward. Right, Kimma? Exactly. Phonies are just the opposite. They plainly will not give you the attention. So I'm going to stop right here and tell you something. When you congratulate someone, or you're there for someone, or you give them kudos or a hoorah or whatever it is, just because you're putting them in the light doesn't mean it's dimming your light. So I think a lot of times we think we're not going to support another woman or another friend, man, I don't care what it is. If you're not supporting someone, you think it's going to dim your light. And that's just the opposite. Listen, I can tell you right now, I know those women in my life that are supportive, and we support each other, because I don't keep friends around that are phony friends, toxic friends, people that don't support you, people that interrupt you when they ask about you and they go to talk about themselves. I don't surround myself with those type of people, and you shouldn't either. Your time and you are more valuable than that. Okay? That's right, Kimma. That's right. So, number 5. Okay, this is a big one. Real friends choose to protect your reputation at all cost. They may not agree with you on a certain kind of action or something that you've done, but in front of a group, they're going to protect you at all cost, right? I'm getting hearts for that. So when you have a true friend, they will never, ever stand silent when someone is talking about you in a negative way. So if you are in a group and someone is talking negatively about your friend, you standing there and not partaking in that conversation doesn't make you a real friend. A real friend would actually stand up and say, Mary is not here to defend herself, so we really shouldn't talk about that situation that's going on in her life. Don't stand silent when someone else is talking negative about your friend. And your friends should not do that for you. And you probably know who they are and who stands up for you. I certainly do. Okay, so real friends, they don't ride the fence. So they're gonna stand in your corner regardless. And you know how you'll hear a lot of times with friends, they'll say, well, I really didn't say anything because I don't really have an opinion and I just want to stay neutral, or I don't want to get involved. I'm not saying that you have to get involved in nasty and negative talk. I hate that. I don't get involved in that. But you still have to stand up for your friend. Okay, because if you're not going to do it, then who is? And if the tables were turned, it was you would want the same. So think about it that way. Put yourself in someone else's situation. So you couldn't hear me before, Charlotte? I'm sorry. All right, so number 6. Just as real friends are there for you in good times, they are there for you in bad times. So you're going to have those friends that always want to come to the party. They want to come to the cookout. They want to come to the birthday party. They want to celebrate, a big launch or a project that you have going on. But where are they when things are down? When things are going south? When you're hurting? Where are those friends? So the same friends, your genuine friends, are going to be with you and celebrate with you as well as be with you in the bad times. So think about that. Who's around you, not just to celebrate and cook out and grill hamburgers and boil crawfish, but they're also there when you need them, when you're sick or you have a sick family member. Where are they? If they're around you, keep them. They're valuable. So you may even have an illness in the family. You may have a total loss in a fire or a storm. When we had the flood in Louisiana, it was the greater flood of Louisiana. It wasn't a big broadcast on CNN like it should be, because we had over 80,000 homes and businesses destroyed in this flood. And we came to our own rescue. So the guys, some folks in Louisiana, they started the Cajun Navy, or is it Army? Cajun Army? Somebody correct me if the Cajun Army or the Cajun Navy, I can't remember. But they brought their boats out and they were rescuing people from all over. They were rescuing people from their homes because no one else was there for them. No one else was doing them. Man, listen, that is Navy. Thank you, Charlotte. So it was the Cajun Navy. And you can even look them up and read about them. It was amazing. Or Christina said that. Thank you, honey. It was amazing what they did for each other. So in your neighbors, look at your neighbors. Are your neighbors there for you? Do you call them a friend, or you do call them a neighbor? Your coworkers, do you call them a friend, or do you call them a coworker? If they're a genuine friend and they meet any of these characteristics, you want to hang on to them and you want to be there for them as much as they are for you, and show them that they're valuable. It's really important. If they're showing you that you're valuable and you have worth, then you want to show them the same. Okay, guys, I hope this was helpful. Tonight is kind of really short, but I'm going to go over a couple of things. Like I said, the 6 characteristics of genuine friends and how to find your tribe. A lot of that I cover in my book, Strong Women. And I actually want to show you a chapter in here, because I'm going to give some kudos to Dr. Melanie Mills. So on page 124 in Strong Women, this is my latest book. I go over 8 deal breakers in friendships. And I'm going to kind of read over those really quick because they're really, really good. I'm not going to read the whole paragraphs because it can get long. But these are 8 deal breakers that Dr. Melanie Mills talks about in her book. And this is her book. And you see it? It's kind of got a glare on it. The Friendship Bond by Dr. Melanie Mills. She is a relationships expert. She's in Dallas. She's been on Fox News. And she's a friend of mine. And I love her dearly. She was just on the cover of CEO Moms or CEO Mompreneurs. Anyway, in Dallas. It was awesome. So I love her. I love her. So 8 deal breakers in a friendship. Number 1, hanging out with a person that needs constant validation. That's a deal breaker. Number 2, the friend or person that lacks empathy or compassion. That's a real deal breaker for me. Number 3, a critical friend. And all of these give definitions. Under each one of these deal breakers of a friendship, she gives definitions. And like I said, I have them in Strong Women, but the Friendship Bond really goes into a lot. And Christina, my daughter, she's playing my team member tonight, and she's posting some links for you guys. So you can just hit that link and you can get Melanie's book from Amazon. I know that you'll enjoy it. And I'm going to tell you something. It's a really good gift for a friend. So if you have a birthday and you can throw the book in there, maybe a candle, a pair of earrings or something, it's a really fun gift. Unique. Number 4 deal breaker is the victim. Okay, so this person always believes that nothing is never their fault. They're always the victim of something. Number 5 is unrealistic sensitivity. So this is a person that takes everything too personal almost all of the time, and they hang on every single word and take it personal. They're not really good at taking constructive criticism, and they're when I say they're sensitive, we're all kind of sensitive, right? But unrealistic sensitivity is number 5. Number 6 is a lack of sound mind. So they fly off the handle really, really easy. They don't know how to control their emotions. Number 7 is lack of self-control. This friend has a lack of emotional self-control or physical self-control. So they can be kind of violent, I guess. Number 8, lack of respect. That's a big one. If someone doesn't respect you or know your worth, shut them. They're not a friend. And you really you wouldn't want them in your life anyway, right? If they don't respect you. If someone doesn't respect you, male or female, get rid of them, because you're not going to grow. They're just going to kind of keep a finger on you, and that's not good for you. That's not good for your positive mindset, which we all need to have. So I hope this helps, guys. If you didn't hit your share button already, please hit your share, because we have thousands of replays on Real Girl Talk, which has been super awesome. So even if someone's not joining live, it's been great on the replays. And I want to tell you too, you can go to my website, CHERIERICKARD.com. Thank you, Kimma. You can go to CHERIERICKARD.com. If you join, I call it my tribe, but it's my mailing list. If you join, you're automatically going to get my ebook for free, and it's called Boost Your Confidence in 5 Days. And that's just a thank you gift for getting on the mailing list. I don't sell emails. I don't trade them or anything like that. Don't share them. I just like my emails for events that come out for me and some of my empowerment women that I surround myself with, and they have talks in Dallas as well as here in Louisiana and Tennessee and Florida as well. So when you join the mailing list, you'll be notified of those events. So if you have any comments, I appreciate your comments tonight. Thank you so much. All your books are amazing. Thank you. That's very sweet. I do appreciate you guys joining me tonight. And I have one more thing. Like I said, when you join the mailing list, it's not just updates, but it's about giveaways. And I have a giveaway that is starting tomorrow. So my first book, Wake Up Call, A Mother's Grief Journey, that you guys, if you haven't met me, my son passed away, will actually be 12 years, 11 years, July 12th of this year. And I started journaling for 7 years, and that rolled into a book. Didn't plan it, it just did. And it just launched on audiobook, Wake Up Call, A Mother's Grief Journey. And I'm giving away 10 audiobooks for free. So you can go to my Instagram, which is I am Cherie Rickard, or this page, which is Empowerment is Beauty, my Facebook page. And I'll have some of the little rules for entry, and I'm going to give away 10 of those audiobooks. And what'll happen is if you win, I'll just ask for your email and I will send you the promo code. And when you go into Audible, if you don't have the Audible app, you just download it. It's free. And then you just put in the promo code and that book will download for you at no cost. And I'm excited that Audible gave me these promo codes to give away. And, I'd love for you to read the story Wake Up Call, or if you know someone that's lost a child, or not necessarily just a child, but if they've lost a parent or a sibling, a close friend, anything you think they would benefit from the code, you can actually give it to them, but it can only be used that one time. And I would really, really appreciate it if you would share it with someone. If you don't feel like that book is going to benefit you, I know it's going to benefit someone else that's going through grief and needs healing. So I appreciate that. So anyway, don't forget to hop over to my website. Thank you again for joining me. I committed to do Real Girl Talk every Wednesday in June. So next Wednesday is going to be my last Facebook Live, unless I decide to continue going. I haven't committed to that yet. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Remember, God created you on purpose for a purpose. So hold your head up high and walk into your greatness. You guys have a good night. Mwah. Thank you again.